In this video, I'll demonstrate how to view deleted files on a hard disk. Most of us know that when we delete a file, it actually just goes into the recycle bin, at least on the Windows platform. And of course, if we empty the recycle bin, the file appears to be gone forever. Of course, that's not the case. Files are always retrievable, even if you repartition a disk, let alone format the file system on that partition. And that's why it's important that we use the appropriate disk scrubbing or cleansing tools to wipe the content from the disk appropriately. And depending on the industry we're in, there might be only approved tools that we're allowed to use to do that. Here I've downloaded and have available a free file restoration tools for the Windows platform. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this restoration program, and I'm going to leave it on drive C, and I'll click the search deleted files. And immediately we can see the number of files that it's found that were removed from the hard disk on this system. So we can see the name of the file, the folder it was in, the size, and the modification date and timestamp. Although the modification column is cut off a little bit currently in the display, but we can widen that after the fact. Now we have the choice of selecting either a single file. Let's just verify that we can see the modified column. Or we could use Control-click to select non-adjacent multiple files, or even Shift-click for adjacent files. The idea is that we select these files because we then have the option of clicking the Restore by Copying button in the bottom right, and we can determine exactly where it is that we want to restore those entries. Now, at the same time, we should also bear in mind there are other tools that we might use to look at deleted files. Here I've got the Encased Enterprise tool where I've already created a case file and acquired the contents of drive C, as you can see clearly here. So of course we can peruse drive C and see what's there at the point of time that this evidence was acquired. But it's always important to think about making sure that there's no tampering with evidence. Of course, that means following the chain of custody. One aspect of that is to create a hash. So here in Encased, I could right-click on drive C and choose to generate a hash for all sectors on this partition, or I could specify a subset. Of course, at the Windows command line, for instance in PowerShell, we can use the get file hash commandlet given a file name to result in a hash. Now the idea is that when we generate a hash in the future and compare it to this hash, if anything's changed, the hash will be different, and so we'll know that something has changed. And the same thing is true here in the Encased tool. There are plenty of tools available for scrubbing or wiping disks. Here I'm looking at the disk scrubber tool where we can choose the disk that we want to sanitize essentially. We can scrub it, and we can also determine exactly how that's going to happen, where we can have multi-stage overwrites of randomized data. Now this way, if a disk is wiped in a thorough manner, it makes it much more difficult for anyone to acquire any data remnants in the future. In this video, we discussed how to view deleted files on a hard disk.